Welcome to the new STUpendous Sourdough Studio. I built this with my hands and probably way too much polyurethane. Maybe. And today we are christening in this new studio the only way that I see right. Showing you how I make my starter feed and feeding my starter. Where we started. Her and I have spent about the last year together after I gave birth to her. She's a very lively woman. She doesn't have a lot going on right now because she kind of deflated, but that just means that she's hungry. She's hungry. Yeah, she has collapsed a lot, but she smells so good. So since this is also a new one, I figured she could move into a new apartment today too. Old apartment, new apartment. She's going from Unit 101A to Unit 101B, I guess. I'm not sure. Just don't trust the B in apartment 23, right? But anyway, she also deserves this countertop workspace. I have wanted a studio like this for years, just to have a spot to look at the camera and talk. This is what I keep my starter food in. It's just a regular little container, and I love all of these that have the same size lids. Holy cow, it's been a lifesaver. But what I do is I take bread flour, rye flour, and wheat flour, and I do 20 to 1 to 1 ratio. So 20 parts, 1 part, 1 part. 1,000 grams, 50 grams, 50 grams. Now I've already measured it out because I'm so prepared. What I like to do is just kind of layer it in here so that when I shake it up, it really is quite evenly distributed. Yes, I measure by weight and I will not be taking questions. I don't know. So you can almost see where the layers are of the different flours. At least on the top over here, you can see where the different flours are on top. That's what gives it its nice complexity. In my opinion, the bread flour gives it its strength. Wheat flour gives it its personality. And the rye flour brings the chaos. This ratio keeps her active, bouncy, and just a little bit feral. Nice. So yeah, Ursula's been living in her perfectly fine jar for quite some time, but as you can tell, every now and then I like to clean it, so it's been about a week's worth. And I have a second jar. Because they were on sale at Target. So what I'm going to do is basically I have 100 grams of water here, and I plan on baking today, so I like to do a 1 to 1 to 1 ratio on days when I want to bake. We'll get into different ways to feed your starter later, but this is the most simple because it's the one that gets used the most. It's 1 to 1 to 1. It works for me. It might not work for you. This is what I have available to me in my environment in Central Virginia. Got my handy dandy scale. Zero that out. Go ahead and add my water first, 100 grams. And then I'm just gonna take 100 grams of this. She's still chunky. She's still got some things up in there. I don't want to do too much. I'd rather do too little than too much. And then with that, we're going to do 100 grams of our starter food. It's usually about 2 of these scoops, and then just a little bit more. $2.97, of course. But this is where my ADHD and OCD love me. I'm just a little short there. It's like bouncing back between $2.99 and $300, so I'm just gonna little sprinkle. All right, consistent 300. And then it just gets a stir. Oh my gosh. It's so bouncy. Got that strongness about her. Anyway. Welcome to your new apartment, Ursula. Pretty soon we'll be more nasty with it. But for right now, there she is. Ursula's got her new home. We've got our new studio. So I'm gonna go use some of that to make some cookies. She may be in a new jar, but she's got the same emotional baggage. Don't matter where you go, problems follow you. But she's got a clean apartment, no roommates, good lighting, strong boundaries. Rent is due every 12 hours, I guess. She observes quiet hours really, really nicely. But there is no mold allowed. If you get moldy, I'm going to evict you. Into that one again after I clean it out. But this is honestly how I feel about sourdough. You don't rush it. You don't dominate it. You just set up the environment and you let it flourish. Same with this space. I set it up. I'm gonna make it do what it do. But yeah, this is STUpendous Sourdough. Real prep, real timing, and real bread. Ursula is settled, the studio is live, and we are just getting started.